started out like a small fish, but it's sort of grown. I love road trips, and this one I'm on my own. It's sort of a midweek trip, shooting up here, just busting to get up and do some estuary fishing. We've had that bit of warm weather. It's spring, everything's just sort of right to hopefully finding some good fishing, and being mobile is the key. I've obviously got the boat on the back, the rooftop camper, all my camping gear, so I can stop where I want, but most of all I can move when I need to move. If the fishing's no good, I can relocate, and for now I'm going to start at Mallacoota, but it may even mean I'm camping at the bottom of the lake, and if the fishing's good up the top, I can always pack up, move back further up there and set up camp upstream a bit. But either way, we can change systems, we can do what we want, and most of all be where hopefully there's a few fish that are feeding. So I've got to do a few more miles yet, but we'll get there. The Savo's set up, the weather's disgusting, it's really windy today, but it's going to be better for tomorrow. All right, it is so windy today. It's far windier than I thought it was even going to be. Down the bottom, absolute write-off. I drove all the way into Mallacoota to see what the bottom lake looked like, and it is just white with white caps. So I've come back upstream, pull up here, we'll chuck the boat in, see how we go, have a bit of protection from the wind, hopefully up in all these arms and little quiet bays. But this is it for now. The weather is getting better though, so we'll be right. We'll find some fish. Alright, so I've got a big flat over here. What I want to do is stay off it. Okay, that might sound silly, but I don't want to just dive in onto that flat and potentially spook fish that are sitting on the edge. I want to fish the very back of it, but for now I'm going to start out here and work my way in, because big flathead, they're very, very spooky. And usually when you see them take off, the game is well up and you will not get a bite out of them for a very long time. So I've got multiple outfits. I've got this guy here, so sort of a 6 to 12 pound spin stick. It's one of the Expride 610 medium, 3000 Vanford. On this one, I'm going to run a 5-inch Delzeel minnow Z-Man. I'm going to rig that guy up. When you're going to push these onto the jig head, you just do it slowly like that. Okay, and it sort of just slides its way up, gets in position a little bit more. Once it's on there, even just give it a second just to sit, and it just sort of clamps back down around the keeper on the jig head. Most of all, as always, make sure it's rigged straight. The straighter it's rigged, the better it swims, the more bites you're going to get. The other outfits I've got, and you always check your drag too. Like, that's my sort of fighting drag, but it's also important to be able to set the hook. So if I've got a lot of line out and you get a bite and it's down 6 or 8 meters, you want to be able to jam that fish and get that hook in. So don't have the drag too light. I'm running 15 pound leader. I am fishing for a big flathead. On the other outfit here, I've got my Baitcast outfit, and this is pretty well same rod or same poundage, 6 to 12 pound in a Baitcaster with a Curado DC. And on this one, we've got a Keitec swing impact on a worm hook with a chin weight and a stinger hook on the back end of it. This is great for over the flats. It sinks slow, you can just paddle it back. Such a good way to catch big flatties. And then my third option is this guy, a swim bait, which I love fishing over the flats. As you can see, that Gantia looks a lot like a mullet, and that's about the sort of perfect size bait for a big flatty and small flathead. They'll eat this as well, but the good thing about these swim baits, you can fish them in like this much water and they're just going under the surface. On this one, I've added a little chin weight so I can pull him down just over this drop, but once I get on that flat, weight comes off because we're fishing probably 1 to 2 feet of water. Anyway, enough of me talking, let's go fishing. Gotcha. Oh, he's not big, but he's not bad. Alright, that's going to get us off this flat a bit. And I don't know, just before I lost a seriously big flathead, I turned the cameras off, moving spots, and I just thought, oh, I might just pull up here. I've never fished this flat before, but nothing else has worked for me so far. So I thought I'll just give this a shot. About 3 casts into it, forgot I didn't have the cameras on, and this fish I had on was probably in that 80 centimetre mark. And the hook fell out just as I was trying to turn the camera on. Alright, just the way my luck has been on this trip. Saw a mulloway just cruising along the flat this morning, and he basically, as he went past, if he had hands, he would have stuck his finger up at me. I swear to God. This is a fish. It's nothing on the one I lost before, but I don't care. At this point, I'll take anything. Grab my glove, quite simply because then I can get a thumb grip on him, because he's got that treble right in the corner of his jaw. You can see I'm also not lifting him off the ground while I'm doing that, so I'm not stretching his throat out. Not a big fish, but anyway, yeah, it's a flathead. Alright, this guy took off like a real big fish, and again I didn't even have the camera turned on, wasn't even organised. Let's get him in the net, shall we? I thought he was going to be bigger. He fully just was heavy at the start, didn't do a lot. But that is a nice fish. I had my jacket on because that wind was cool, and then now I'm cooking, the wind's died out. Jaw grip. Oh, and that hook's fallen out too. So often the case with plastics, as soon as that pressure comes off, they fall out. Yeah, that's a nice flatty. Check that out. There we go. Really nice fish. Really happy with that. I'll pop this guy back and I'll show you the plastic. There we go. And that's it. The old 100mm squidgy fish drop there. Probably one of the most famous colours they make. Gotcha. That happened that quick, it wasn't funny. Oh, I think that was a good fish. There's a good one just coming up at me. There had to be one sitting on that point. Bugger. I think that was a bigger fish. Oh well, can't get them all, unfortunately. Oh, Jesus, right at the boat. Oh, that's literally at the boat. Far out. Scared the life out of me. Far out. I was daydreaming and this thing ate it, like right there. Hopefully the camera picked it up. Alright, let's get you in the net, bud. There we go. And that's a nice one on the swim bait. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Nice one. Could possibly be oversized, I reckon. For the legal size of Victoria, you're only allowed to keep them to 55 centimetres, and that's for good reason, because it's to keep the big girls, the females, There's broodstock. Look at that. Nice flathead, but that's a big lure that it's eating. It just shows what absolute pigs they'll be when they want to. Pop you back. Just come to the end of this and I'm about to make another big move. I'm going to go further down the system and see what I can find. Hopefully we can find a big flathead. The big dog. All right, so this is a complete sort of change of area to where I have been fishing further up the system. This is just a big flat. Up where I've been fishing before, I've had flats, but they've been smaller flats dropping into very deep water. This is a shallow flat dropping into a shallow drop off. So what I'm going to do is go with the unweighted plastic as I have been before, but I've gone to the Swing Impact in the white. Okay, that's from Keitec, and the reason I like this guy, he's got that big body shape, he's got a lot of profile, big ribs in the body here that, you know, put out vibration, but it's got an exceptionally big fat tail. It swims at very slow speed, and anyone who knows me would know that I don't really go for white that often as a colour, yet I know it's such a good colour, but I always try and get all fancy and, you know, try and find some miracle colour. But reality is here, I'm going with white because this water has a bit of colour to it, and white's very contrasting. It'll stand out. If I didn't have white, I'd probably go to like a gold or something like that that's really going to pop in this water. If I had nice clean water, I'd probably go that more bait fishy mullet sort of looking pattern. So this white will stand out, hopefully pull a fish in from, you know, that's a bit further away. And because we're just crawling the plastic just under the surface, the bonus is I can also see where that lure is during the retrieve, so I can sort of keep a semi good eye on it, but pull it up over weed patches and things like that and let it fall when I know it's in the right spot. Whereas if it blends in with the water, it's obviously hard to do that. So we're just going to pepper our way down this flat and see how we go, and then we'll make a move somewhere else. Gotcha. It started out like a small fish, but it's sort of grown. A lot of casts, a lot of things have gone wrong for me this trip. Like a lot of things. Lines breaking on fish, watching mullerways from in front of me, not finding fish. But finally, my heart is absolutely pumping, let me tell you. I thought this was a tiny fish. Like, I didn't even turn the camera on because I was like, oh, it's just another little one. And then it just started coming towards me and I went, because often the big girls, I'll just come gliding at you and then they wake up at the last minute. Look, it's not a giant, but I will take this fish any day of the week, especially the way this has been going lately. And as all I've done here is come up into some really shallow water, trying to be as quiet as possible, hardly using the electric, because I'm fishing in, I don't know, the sounder is not even reading, it's that shallow. It's probably less than sort of 70 or 80 centimetres of water over a big flat, and it's just a matter of cast and cast and cast. There's little weed patches and, you know, things like that. Anytime I see a bit of a weed patch or something that looks a little bit deeper, I just sort of aim for that. And a couple of fish I've caught here have all come, you know, next to a big weed patch or similar. Come around here, girl. What have we got? There we go. Just got to be ready for him near the boat. And the last thing I want it to do is stick its head out. It's not a monstrous fish, but it's a nice one. I'm happy with it. I'll tell you what, if there's one here, there'll be more. That's the, I suppose that's the bonus. Oh, there we go. Oh, just. Oh, that's a nice fish. It's actually a little bit bigger than what I thought. I am so happy with that. You have no idea. Here we go. I'll get these hooks out. Nice fish on that stinger. There we go. Now, I'll quickly lift her up. Look at that. Yeah, that's a nice fish. But what I'll do is put her back in here for a sec. Let's get her over the side, give her a breather. It's really important that we do this. What I'll do very quickly, let's lift her in. Brag mat. Real quick. I'm going to quickly put her back just because I had to take her out of the water while I got the brag mat out. Give her another paddle. All right, let's do this. Let's do this fish out. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? 77. There we go. Let me tell you what, I am absolutely wrapped with that, but it's time for this girl to go back because I'm hoping I can find myself a slightly bigger one, although I can go home happy now. This has been a lot of work. Let's pop her back. With Flathead too, you don't, oh, she's off. There we go. She's off. You don't need to rock them back and forth, just hold them. She just, I was holding that hand, went to that hand, she bit my thumb and went, see ya. You know what? I reckon it's 12:20. I think I can have some food now. I just sort of before went, I don't feel so good. And I was like, oh, I've been up since 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning and I haven't eaten. I've been too busy fishing. And I've been getting just enough fish to keep me concentrating and worrying about catching. So I'm gonna have a 2-minute breather, grab some food, have a drink, and then let's get back into it. So good. So good. Oh, that's a big fish. That is the one. Yes. That was a big bite. It just smashed it. That big Arma Joint just looks like a peanut in its gob.